I watched my brother steal from our dying mother. When we found out my mom only had a few months left, it shattered our whole world. She had stage 4 cancer, and all we could do was make her as comfortable as possible at home. I moved back in immediately. She deserved that much. She was the kind of mom who always showed up. She was on a strict medication schedule, fentanyl patches for the worst of the pain. But some nights, I'd find her curled into herself on the bed, clutching her side, teeth clenched like she was trying not to cry out. I offered to call her doctor to see if her dosage could be increased, but she always brushed me off with a soft, "I'm fine." Something didn't sit right. One night, I found her sitting at the edge of the bed, tiny gasps slipping out between her clenched teeth. I checked the pouch under her pillow where she usually kept the patches, and noticed some were missing. When I asked, she fumbled for an excuse about forgetting how many she'd used. I didn't want to press her, she was already carrying so much, but a knot of suspicion grew in my stomach. Then I remembered something. Every time my brother Jason visited, he had this routine. He'd kiss her forehead, his hand lingering a little too long under her pillow. I used to think it was sweet. Now, I wasn't so sure. I started marking the corners of the patch packages with tiny dots. Every time Jason visited, a couple went missing. He had changed too. He'd show up all smiles and hugs, telling everyone how heartbroken he was, but the longer he stayed, the more jittery he got. He'd start sweating, pacing like he needed to get away. I began sitting in on his visits. Jason got quieter, more distant. Mom started hiding her meds in different places, tucked into socks in her drawer, taped inside her robe, even under her mattress. I found the hiding spots accidentally, but even then, she kept running out. When I finally asked her directly if someone was taking her medication, she just stiffened. Her voice was quiet when she said, "Everyone in this family is doing their best." She wouldn't meet my eyes. A few days later, I found 3 empty fentanyl packages crammed into the bathroom trash, stuffed under tissues, and an old razor cartridge box. Not the way Mom would ever throw them away. The worst part wasn't even the theft, it was watching her suffer. Watching her time her pain relief around Jason's visits, afraid he'd steal even more. One night, she broke. Shaking and pale, she asked if I would sit in the room when Jason visited. She didn't explain. She didn't have to. I said yes, without hesitation. That night, I set up a hidden camera disguised as a clock. When I told her, she just nodded with that same exhausted look. No words. The footage nearly broke me. Jason bent down to kiss her forehead, the same way he always did, and in the same smooth motion, slipped his hand under her pillow and pocketed a patch. She didn't move. She just lay there, eyes closed, pretending not to notice. I confronted him alone the next day. He didn't deny it. In fact, he almost seemed proud, said it was an easy fix, and that none of us would even notice because we were all too busy with Mom. "She's dead anyway," he said. "Why does she matter more than me?" I stood there, sick to my stomach, when we heard Mom's voice from the bedroom. She had heard everything. She called us in and told us she knew all along, that she had begged her doctor for extra medication, but there were limits. She said she didn't want her last days to be filled with anger and fighting. Her voice was so weak but so clear. The next day, I handed Jason an envelope, some cash, and the address of a rehab facility. I looked him straight in the eyes and said, "You have 2 choices. Get help now, or don't come back until after she's gone." Jason lunged at me, swinging wildly, and honestly, after that I don't remember what happened next.